So, welcome back, everyone. The session post lunch is the most challenging. So, welcome you once again to the track 2 Pathways for Growth of Women's Enterprises. We are extremely glad to curate this track with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We are extremely delighted to have with us Madam Mercy Pau, Joint Secretary, Ministry of MSME, Government of India. As Joint Secretary, she is in charge of implementation of various schemes pertaining to small and medium enterprises. Prior to her current posting, she has served Government of India in various capacities across the ministries, departments for the past 25 years. Some of her most important postings inter alia are Ministries of Finance, Housing and Urban Affairs, and Development of Northeastern Region. Ma'am, it is my privilege to welcome you on stage to deliver the keynote address. Can we give her a good, like a loud round of applause? Thank you so much.
Very good afternoon to all of you. If you have had your lunch, then it's a challenge now to keep awake. So I have to be interesting. Otherwise, I will kind of sing lullaby to make you sleep. I'm here to give a keynote address on the overall view of Ministry of MSME. As our madam has already said that I am Joint Secretary there. So Ministry of MSME, as you know, we look into the MSME spheres, policy making, and also handholding, supporting through some of the interventions and programs. And if you look at Ministry of MSME landscape, you will know that Ministry of MSME is highly vibrant, and we also contribute significantly to our GDP exports. And so in order to catch up with the vision that the government is already laying for all of us, we are also trying to have stakeholding meetings with the industry, with people like you, and also with our MSMEs. And we are trying to also tweak our policies so that we can also be relevant and serve our nation better. So I thank the Access Service Development for organizing such a beautiful platform where we can all have a meeting together, have technical sessions. My colleague Ishita will be here, and she will also be highlighting a lot more. I know you might be aware of what MSME does, and if you are a frequent visitor to our website, everything is up there, so you might be aware. But there is always that one or two persons who may not be totally aware of what the government is doing in the MSME sector. So for the benefit of them, I just want to tell you what the Ministry of MSME does, and how you can also access and get benefited. And if you get information today, perhaps you can go back and then help the people that are under your influence so that we can all help and grow the MSMEs. In order to be comparable with the global MSMEs, we have revised the definition of MSMEs. I think you are aware of that. The only difference that our Indian MSME classification says is we don't include mandatorily from the MSMEs the number of people that they are employing. Okay, so for the micro, the investment does not exceed 1 crore and turnover does not exceed 5 crore. If that is your enterprise, then you are a micro unit. For the small, investment does not exceed 10 crore and turnover does not exceed rupees 50 crore. If you are in that bracket, you are a small unit. And for the medium unit, investment does not exceed 50 crore and turnover does not exceed 250 crore. And you would be a medium unit. So if you look at the landscape, 95+% of MSMEs are in the micro segment. And very small number would be in the small, medium would be less than 1% perhaps. And we have recently also introduced Shri Fund, which is an equity fund. I will tell you a little bit as I go on, so that we can help our MSMEs have infuse the capital fund so that they cross over to become bigger. They get out of the MSME bracket. We are trying to create some champions out of it, so that is a new initiative also. Now, if you look at the MSME contribution to our economic development, we have 45% of national output as far as the manufacturing is concerned. Total exports is about 49%. Contribution to GDP is 30% or more. And we employ around 11 crore people, and the number of MSME units is 6.3%. And the products and services, we range from, we have more than 6,000, and it ranges from right from khadi, which is made with hands, okay, the rural artisans, up to very high precisions, which we are also manufacturing and giving it to our satellites also. If you look at the MSMEs, you will find that a lot of our MSMEs are in informal sector. They have not come in the formal sector as yet. So the government is trying very hard to bring in all the MSMEs in the formal sector. So we have initiated this Udyam portal where everybody gets registered, and once they get, and it's free, by the way. There are many fake sites that have come up, but if you enter that, and then if any site is asking for money, please know that that is fake. Government of India does not ask for any money, and it is totally digital. You just have to enter your details, and then you get a number. Once you have that number, then you become eligible to access all the schemes and programs. More than 25 in the ministry alone, you become eligible to access those benefits. And if you look at the registration, I think it is more than 1.3 crore right now as on date. And we are also having a special campaign for Udyam registration, because this is also one of our vision for 2047, India at 100 years, how we can bring in all the MSMEs under the formal sector. If you look at the total registered MSMEs, the women, you will find that 18% of those who are registered on Udyam portal are women. And today we are talking on women. So some of the special initiatives that we have taken on women, I will also share as I go along. If you look at the Ministry of MSME, the objective and function, we have 5 verticals, major verticals that we work with. One is finance facilitation. And we have schemes like Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. We have recently revised, and so earlier it used to be just 10 lakh for service sector. Now we have doubled it to 20 lakh. For manufacturing, it used to be 25 lakh. Now we have given to increase to 50. So, and some of the farm sector, which were not covered earlier, has been given for especially Northeastern region. And we also have CGT MSE. And as I said, the equity fund, Shri Fund, Self-Reliant India Fund, we have also launched that. That's the finance facilitation vertical. We also emphasize a lot on skill development. We need skilling, reskilling, and also whatever the industry requires. We are also trying to bring in manpower which are skilled so that the industry can benefit from that. So we have 3-4 schemes under that: ESDP, Entrepreneurship Skill Development Program, and then we also give assistance to training institutes, which are our own training institute, and some EDIs which the state government has, and Government of India training institutes. We engage them and we train them. And so this is also one of the important component, not only to find employment for these unemployed youth, but also to train them so that they become entrepreneur. The third vertical that we work on is technology enablement. And as we know that is also one of the critical gap that our MSMEs face, access to technology. How can they access to technology? How can they increase their production? So for these, we have schemes like Aspire, Sfurti, MSc CDP, and special credit link subsidy scheme for the SCs and the STs. You can say that we are also trying to be inclusive in our growth story. So we have certain schemes which are only meant for SCs and STs also. So these are some of the few schemes that we help our MSMEs access technology. Recently, we have also been engaging very regularly with the Office of PSA, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Prime Minister. We also engage them because most of the S&T, Science and Technology, R&D institutions come under them, and they have a lot of homegrown, homemade technologies. But the problem with the institution is that they developed it and then they get their degree and then it's never reached a market. So we are trying to get those technology and reach them to the MSMEs. So these are some of the initiatives that we do. And also for the global holistic value chain, we need the market linkage, which is the end. Okay, the first one is the backward linkage. So for the backward linkage, we have like Sfurti and then the MSc CDP. this is the cluster development programs. So that becomes the backward linkage, and then we have the forward linkage, which is the market linkage. We have two schemes specifically. One is the procurement marketing schemes that will help our MSMEs come and participate in all the major fairs and exhibition within the country. And we have a lot of them, a lot of fairs and exhibition happening all the time. We have international cooperation scheme where more than 700 major fairs and exhibitions which are happening internationally, we have approved them in our list so that our MSMEs can go and participate in whatever sector they belong. Okay, so we have that, and that is also a very popular scheme among our MSMEs. And the other one is the final vertical that we work with is manufacturing competitiveness. So under this, we have a champion scheme, and that is to increase their competitiveness. We recently launched capacity building for the first time exporters under our international cooperation scheme. It was launched by our Honorable Prime Minister on 30th June last year. And so under this, we are giving them free registration with export councils. We are also giving them certain assistance for testing and for getting certification for whatever products and services they have. We also help them in insurance and all that. So we have the Z, zero effect, zero defect, because now we have to be environmentally conscious. And so we have brought in those things. And for innovation, under the innovation scheme, we are also engaging with host institute, where ideas can be incubated. And then a viable business model is created by these. And then we have IIS, IIM, and so many institutes that are already engaged as a host institute. We have those. And also the MSMEs are, as I said, 95% are in micro segment. They are very small, and then they stick to what they know. They are not very creative, and they don't have the means and the power to actually come out of their comfort zone and make things that are saleable in the global market. So we also brought in a vertical called design, okay, where their designs can be diversified, and also the demand that is there in the market can be curated. So under that, we bring that. And another one is protection, IPR. We also brought that. These are some of the new initiatives that our ministry has done. If you look at the organization, you will find that we have Khadi and Village Industries, KVIC, you are already aware of that. We have also Coir Board, where it deals with the Coir products. And we have National Small Industry Corporation, NSIC. We have branch offices all across the country, and we help our MSMEs in raw material sourcing and also in helping them get the credit and so. And one of the attached office of MSME is Development Commissioner, and my colleague, she's from there. She will be speaking about the various schemes that they run. And we also have National Institute of MSMEs. This is in Hyderabad, and this institute majorly do skilling and also help the people to become entrepreneurs. We also have an institute called M. Giri, Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Industrialization in Wardha. And we also have several tool rooms and technology and testing centers all across the country. So this is what the structure of MSME is like. And if you look at some of the enabling the MSMEs to access the credit, you will find that on top of the schemes that we run, PMEGP is one, okay? So this is kind of the flagship for our ministry. And we also have CGT MSC also, where collateral-free loan up to 2 crore rupees is provided to the MSCs, and the guarantee coverage ranges from 50% to 85%. We also give a lot of capacity building, as I said, in ESDP, and then under ATI, and also National SCST Hub Scheme. We are doing a lot of training program. Some of them are NSQF compliant courses. Some of them are over and above NSQF. Some are curated as per the demand of the industry. And so we do a lot of skilling and also helping the unemployed youth become entrepreneurs. And for the access to market, as I said, for international, we have international scheme. Under this, many associations, the prominent ones, and we are also trying to help build the upcoming platforms, the association, the chambers also to partake in this. So we also organize conferences, international conferences, where we bring subject experts from whichever country has that comparable strength. So we engage them so that they come and tell us. We also share technology. Whatever technology is good, say from Germany or from Japan, we engage them so that they tell us about their best practices, their technology under such forums. So we do a lot of those things. In addition to exhibitions and participating in trade fairs, buyer and seller, G2G meet, B2B meet, etc. So our ministry also takes MSMEs to certain countries for building relationship and also for networking so that their strength can also be learned and the best practices can be also exchanged. So these are some of the things that we do for market access. For the domestic one, we have PMS, Procurement and Marketing Support Scheme. So under this, our MSMEs can come. We help them with stall charges and also some to and fro tickets. Some of these things we help them so that they also understand what is the ecosystem in the market. And to be inclusive in our growth, we have this National SC/ST Hub Scheme, which is specifically for the SCs and the STs to mainstream their economic activity. And under this, we have several interventions, not only helping them to access banks, okay, credit, not only to help them reach the market, but also build up their capacity and also train them how to become entrepreneur. And we are also doing a lot of activities by holding conclaves, not only all across, but we have already mapped the region where SC/ST are having substantial population. So in those pockets, we are having conclaves and the uptake has been quite encouraging. We are now in the second phase of this particular scheme. And in order to help ease of doing business, we have ODM registration portal, and Madam deals with that. And under that, we are trying to bring all the MSMEs in the formal sector by giving them registration and other things. And also Champion portal. This is a technology-driven platform for helping and promoting the MSMEs. It's also a single window solution for needs as well as grievances of the MSMEs, and also assistance to business, including finance, technical, market access, export, import, etc. We also help them. And we have developed this Champion portal in hub and spoke model. So the hub is in our Udyog Bhavan. The spokes are spread across the country through our DFOs and other TCs. We also have this MSME Samband, and under this, we monitor the implementation of public procurement. The Government of India policy says that at least 25% of all the procurement must be mandatorily from the MSMEs. So here we monitor the procurement, and there is a portal tracking the thing. And also the government e-marketplace, GEM, we also help our MSMEs register them on the GEM portal. And MSME Samadhan, this is about the delayed payments. And as MSMEs are very small, and if their payments are not on time, then they face a lot of challenge. So in order to help ease out this particular issue, there is a portal called MSME Samadhan, which also monitors and help them. The MSME Champion Scheme, as I said, we have Z. The scheme is an extensive drive to enable and facilitate MSMEs adopt Z practices and motivate and incentivize them for Z certification, and also encouraging them to become the MSME champions. And under the innovation scheme, we have design, IPR, and also incubation. And the first-time capacity building, I've already shared. This is becoming quite a popular one for the MSMEs because as India works towards reaching the 5 trillion USD, the MSMEs play a very critical part. So we also want to handhold our MSMEs become exporters. So these are some of the initiatives that our ministry has recently undertaken. Now, some new interventions are like Self-Reliant India, Shri Fund. So NSIC, the National Small Industry Corporation, is the main agency for execution of this fund of funds scheme. And it is a rupees 10,000 crore by anchoring it through a 100% owned subsidy company. So this NSIC Venture Capital Fund Limited, NVCFL, was incorporated, and NSIC is now the agency running that, and we named that as Self-Reliant India Fund. And under this, the objective of the Shri Fund is to enhance equity, quasi-equity, and debt financing as permitted under the SEBI guidelines. And it also supports the faster growth of MSME businesses and ignite economy and create employment opportunities. And we also support enterprises which have potential to graduate beyond the MSME bracket and become national and international champion. And some of the important things that we do for the women specifically, we have 8th March, we all know that's International Women's Day. So last year on this International Women's Day, we announced a program called Samarth. And under that, we have 4 programs where we are focusing on that to help the women MSMEs. First, we are having a special targeted focus campaign on registration on the Udyam portal by the women-owned MSMEs. So we're having that. 20% of all the capacity building training programs run by the ministry will be reserved for women, and also participation in domestic as well as international exhibitions and fairs. At least 20% representation from women will be reserved. And the fourth thing is all the commercial schemes under NSIC will be reserved for women. So these are the 4 steps that ministry have taken to help the women MSMEs under the Samarth announcement. And there are so many other schemes which may be of interest to you. Kindly look at our ministry's website. I'm just giving you an overview of what Ministry of MSME does. And it's very important that we come and share what we do and also learn from what we are doing. And I think synergy is very important. Stakeholder consultation is very important. Government cannot do 100%. We do what we can do. You also bring in your things so that we together can be a part of the success story, the growth, the economic growth story of our country. So I commend the Access Development Services for organizing such a beautiful meeting. And I hope the technical session which will follow this will be meaningful and also will be a learning experience for all of us. So thank you very much for having me, and all the best for the technical sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful address. It was quite an elaborate one. And for sharing with us the key initiatives that the Ministry of MSME is undertaking. I'm sure with the leadership that we have at the Ministry of MSME, we would be happy to work with your ministry and take the agenda of women's entrepreneurship forward. Thank you so much, ma'am. We also wanted to quickly felicitate you with token of our appreciation and for your presence here today. It has already reached you. Yeah, so let's give her a big round of applause.